Hey everyone, this is the second part in a two-part series of videos that discusses voiceover rates, why we charge what we charge. So to start off with, you have what's called your basic studio fee, and that is how much you charge for either 1 hour in your studio or maybe for a 2-minute corporate video that has 500 words or less. That is the basis for anything else that I quote. So the analogy I like to use is, let's say Ed Sheeran sells you a CD. Old school, I know. That is a perpetual license that he has sold you, and you can play it in your house. You can play it to your friends in your house. You can do whatever you want with that CD as long as it is not for financial gain. So on the voiceover side, it would be, let's say McDonald's come to you and they want a 2-minute corporate video. They pay your basic studio fee. So they get a perpetual license for that video because it's not going out to the world. It's only going to a very narrow set of people internally within McDonald's. Very similar to you playing the CD in your house. Okay, next up, let's say McDonald's want to use your 2-minute explainer video and they want an external facing license. In other words, they want to put it on their website, their Facebook pages, not paid advertising. Well, this is going to reach more people. So your voice has a bigger reach and a bigger impact. If you go to the GVAA rate card or the Gravy for the Brain rate card, it gives you an idea of what you should charge. GVAA, they say it's between $500 to $1,000. And for Gravy for the Brain, they say add 100% of your basic studio fee. You can put a time limit on that usage if you want, but really all that video is going to do is sit on their website. It's not being promoted. So the analogy for this is that McDonald's now want to use that Ed Sheeran CD that they bought and they want to play it in their restaurant. Well, there's strict rules and guidelines about that. You're not allowed to play music that is copyrighted in a business that makes money unless you have paid a licensing fee. For a restaurant that is 5,000 square feet and has 4 speakers, it comes to about $1,000 a year to be able to play music in their restaurant. Okay, now we're going to move on to paid ads. So McDonald's is loving your voice. See what I did there? And now they want to use it on paid advertising, let's say a regional radio commercial in Virginia. The intended reach of that ad is, say, 10,000 people a day. So now they are actually going out and trying to generate revenue from the commercial that has your voice in it. And this is where terms start to come in. For a radio ad on a non-major market, the price will be between $250 to $320 for a 3-month use. For 1 year, it would be $850 to $950. McDonald's may not stipulate that they want exclusivity, but exclusivity still applies. If Burger King comes to you and says, I want a radio commercial done within that 3-month period, you have to say no. If Burger King want exclusivity, they will say, well, have you worked in the fast food industry in the last three months for a radio commercial? You would have to say, yes, I did McDonald's. And then they would say, okay, we can't use you. But if Burger King came to you after the 3-month period had expired for McDonald's, then you are okay to work with them. And the analogy for that, let's go back to Ed Sheeran. So if they wanted Ed Sheeran's music as a backing track on that McDonald's commercial, you'd be surprised how much they have to pay. So McDonald's would have to negotiate rates with Ed Sheeran's record company. They say that the average is $10,000 to $25,000 to license a popular song for commercial use for a local radio ad. And that's why local radio ads don't usually have well-known popular songs in the background, because they cost a lot of money. Okay, let's go national now. You've hit the big time. McDonald's want to use your ad on a nationwide commercial. So if you go to the GVAA rate card or the Gravy for the Brain rate card, I'm just reading off it here, GVAA says that for a 3-month usage, that fee would be $600 to $700. For 1 year, it would be $1,500 to $1,700. You've got to remember, your voice is going to be heard by many more people. McDonald's are relying on that commercial driving people into their restaurants, increasing their revenue, and therefore increasing their profits. And that is true for Ed Sheeran's music. If they wanted to use one of his songs on a national radio ad, they're looking at probably between $75,000 to $200,000 for a 1-year period. Okay, now we're going to talk about paid advertising on the web, and it is a minefield out there. So basically, the advertising world has been turned upside down because of the internet with streaming services and all of the social media sites. And more and more companies are moving away from TV and radio advertising and trying to advertise on these streaming services and social media websites. That's where the eyeballs are. So unfortunately, the voiceover industry and the music licensing industry were slow to figure out how to charge for those particular services. So we commonly see on a lot of the online casting sites saying internet ad worldwide usage. And the budgets for those are usually $250 to $500. And that's just, you can't give away your voice for that amount of money, because your voice has a huge impact if it's going to go worldwide. So basically, the true rate for an online ad that is going worldwide is about $10,000 to $12,000, because there are going to be so many people hearing your voice. You've got to get with these companies who are quoting such lowball amounts and try and educate them on why it costs so much to do worldwide and why it costs so much to do in perpetuity. Because in truth, they're probably not going to need worldwide, and they're not needing in perpetuity. They don't have to worry about anything. They think they can just buy your audio and then pay you one fee and forget about it. That's just not how it works. And the last form of usage we're going to talk about is TV ads. The Holy Grail. Well, they used to be anyway. That's where all of the money used to go into TV ads. The productions were much better. The backing music was much better. Everything about TV ad is high quality. And we all know how much a Super Bowl ad costs, and they're prepared to pay that amount of money because they know they are going to get millions and millions of people watching that TV commercial, and therefore, hopefully, they're going to drive more revenue for their business. It has a major impact. And then let's say McDonald's want exclusivity on your voice in that commercial for 1 year. They have to pay for that. And if you go to the Gravy for the Brain rate card, they suggest a going rate for your voiceover for that is $25,000, because your voice is going to have such a big impact. It's going to be heard by so many people. I know it's complicated. There are a lot of moving parts in all of this, but it is not as simple as saying, okay, my basic studio fee is $275. I'm going to spend less than 1 hour in the studio, so I'm going to charge $275 for everything. That's not how it works. If you don't know how to quote, go to the GVAA rate card, go to the Gravy for the Brain rate card, and if you still can't find what you're looking for, post in one of the Facebook groups. There are a lot of people out there who just don't know and are quoting rates that are really low, and they're driving rates down across the whole industry. And the last thing to remember is, even if your studio fee is $275 for 1 hour of studio work, you're not going to book 8 hours of voiceover work every day. Most people think it's the 80-20 rule. You're going to basically, for a 10-hour day, 80% is going to be marketing, business admin, and all that other stuff. You're only going to be doing 20%. So that would be 2 hours of recording per day. So you're only going to make $550 per day. And sometimes that's on a good day. Sometimes you're not going to record anything on a day. Sometimes a whole week goes by and you don't book anything. So when you hear the terms $275 an hour, that's paying for your microphone, your marketing, the hours put into audition and to do all the marketing. It all gets rolled into one. But actually, when you work it out over the whole year, it's just a good living for you. Okay, so hopefully you got some good information out of this video. If you did, then please press the subscribe button or the bell notification button. Go on, you know you want to. Go on, touch it. Do it now, okay? Good stuff. And I look forward to speaking to you on my next video. Take care till then.